Hi, this is Jason at RoofSnap, and welcome back to our next frequently asked question.
Used on iPhone 7 Plus?
Yep, and today, of course, as always, I have
Katrina.
with me. And, just when we're talking about, if you can see down here in the little video screen, when we're talking about, if you're like me and you're all thumbs, sometimes using your phone, specifically when you have one of these larger screen phones, drawing out the roof can be quite enjoyable, quite easy to do on a smaller device. Now, obviously, if you have a large, fast iPad, that is definitely one of the best options. But if you want to, maintain your mobility and have a small device, we wanted to show you today how easy it is. And Katrina has our specific frequently asked question for this next upcoming answer.
That's right. So this is a doozy. You ready?
Sure.
How do I draw a roof on an iPhone 7
And keep those lines straight,
and keep them straight?
because we do have a new piece of functionality called 90 mode, and we're going to show it to you while we also show you how to draw lines to make the sketch of your roof over top of this beautiful near map image that we've just snapped here.
Perfect.
So when you're on a phone, it's going to be important to switch to pan and zoom, this button down here on the right, as much as you need to, just to get the different sections of the roof in view. Then when you're ready to start drawing a line, switch to draw. Now notice this little icon up here in the upper left. This is normal mode or freestyle mode. So when you tap on that, it changes the icon itself to what we call 90 mode. So what I'm going to do, I've got one finger here on the screen, and in order to draw the first line, I'm going to keep that finger on the screen throughout, but I'm going to tap with my other thumb and turn that cursor green. And see, as I come across, that line has stayed perfectly straight. I kind of have to move my finger a ways before it hops off of perfectly horizontal. And that's why it was so important that I got that image lined up very, very straight, very square in the screen before I started.
Absolutely.
Come to the edge of this eave here. I'm going to tap on the screen and turn and come up or down, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Now, it's also going at 90 degrees from my first line. I have to move my finger quite a ways away from 90 before it sort of snaps off. And then it'll just pop back over to 90 as soon as I get close to it, and then I tap on the screen again. And I have not picked up my drawing finger yet. But again, in 90 mode, it's keeping this next line perfectly horizontal, but also, you see it snap, boom, right there? It's lining up to the point where I started my very first line.
Great.
So I'm going to go and tap one more time and lift my drawing finger. So I've got 3 lines drawn. When I go to facets, nothing yet. I haven't closed this in on all sides, so no shading is going to happen yet. But as soon as I go back to draw, put my cursor down, you'll see when my cursor touches that point where I last left off, it's going to turn to a larger red circle, and I tap on the screen. As soon as it turns red, that large red circle, I tap on the screen. And then as I come up, that green circle is going to turn red, telling me I've locked in on that first point.
Great.
Now I've drawn it in on all 4 sides. The color of my cursor has reminded me when I've connected those different points. And when I go to facets, we're showing blue.
Great.
Blue lets me know that I have successfully closed in that area, and I've got the first roof slope, which we also call facet, correctly drawn. Now I'm going to zoom, pan and zoom, down to this area here. I can zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to draw this next section a little bit quicker. I'm going to go back to draw, place my finger on the screen to get my cursor, start where I left off, come down here. And I want to be even with the gutter on the right side. So I was watching my cursor tails to make sure that happens. Get my valley, come back down. And I'm using these crosshairs, these dotted red lines, to make sure that I'm good right and left and up and down before I tapped on the screen to lock in that line. Come down here and start from here. Come across, and it snaps right to where the ridge is going to be based on where those valleys meet.
Great.
Come back here, snap to start the line, come down, snap there, tap Tap again, come down to where it meets the bottom of the valley, and one last tap to lock that line in. Switch to facets mode, and we can see we've now completed the front 2 slopes of the garage.
Perfect. And that whole time, I mean, you only picked up your drawing finger, your right finger there.
Yeah, just a couple
maybe
times.
a couple of times,
Yep.
yeah.
Same thing, so we'll come down here, tap, bring it down, connect, tap, lift up my finger, bring my cursor back up to the top, tap to start the line, tap when we get here, come across. Now this one, we don't actually want to connect it here, and there's no point there. You see, it's still a green circle because there's a step wall. Let's come past just a little bit. Let's come right back up the step wall, tap, and connect, and tap again. Now, when we go to facets, if we did everything correct, we should see blue on all slopes. And this little drawer, we can always move it out of our way by just tapping right there in that gray space, moving it in and out.
Perfect.
Now at this point, we've got all the lines drawn, we see all the facets are shaded in, so the sketch in and of itself is done. The measurements yet, though, are not accurate. Not until we put in pitch values and until we assign labels to all of the lines to indicate our eaves, rakes, and ridges. But we won't hop into any of those until our next frequently asked question video. So thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
We'll see you soon.
See you next time.